Hey everyone, it's Mike with IronLogix, and today we're going to talk about button programming on your desk phone. This is a new feature of version 16, and we're really excited about the capabilities it gives each end user to directly customize their individual phones. So let's go ahead and get started. So what do I mean when I say button programming? Most phones we sell here at IronLogix have buttons on the sides of the display. You can see that right here. These can be used for speed dials, or as we technically refer to them as BLFs, or busy lamp field button. The reason we call them BLFs is because the button LEDs will change colors depending on what's happening with that extension. To be clear, the lights will indicate if they are an extension within the phone system itself. Speed dials to a person's cell or someone's number outside the company won't change color, which should make sense as the phone system has no way of knowing what's happening with a phone that is external to the system. However, for internal phone system extensions, the system does know what's going on, and that's where the BLF, or busy lamp field term, comes in. The color of the buttons will be steady green when somebody's available, steady red when that extension is busy or do not disturb is enabled, and flashing red when it's ringing. Before I go too far, I do want to point out that this does work on all supported phones. I did include a link in the description for that, so before going further, make sure yours is listed and supported. If it's not, this may or may not work for you. Additionally, there are some lower end models out there that do not have programmable buttons. This video obviously assumes that you do, so if you have one, let's go ahead and continue. So in order to program these buttons to your liking, we have to get into the web client to manage your extension, and for that, we're going to need to log into that extension as you. If you do not know how to do this, or you do not have your credentials, that's okay. We need your 3CX welcome email. You get that by searching your email or from your phone system admin if it needs to be resent to you. We do customize ours like you see here, but yours should look somewhat similar. What we're looking for is the web client section, and specifically the web client link and your credentials. And that's right here. Now that you have those, let's jump to our Chrome or Firefox browser and log into the web client. So here's what my web client looks like. There are a lot of things going on in here, but for the purpose of today's video, we're going to focus specifically on the BLF button programming. If you want to learn more about the other features of this tool, please be sure to check out our other videos by clicking the links in the description or somewhere on the screen. In the left-hand pane, click Settings, followed by BLF Settings. Here you're going to see the programmable buttons as they appear on your desk phone screens. Now the first couple or more may be grayed out and you'll be unable to edit them, and that's a good thing. They're either shared parking or line appearance buttons, and that's really good because if you mess with those, your phone system may not actually work and you won't be able to take calls on your extension. So leaving those alone and having those grayed out is actually a good thing. But let's focus on the buttons we can and do want to change. If you click the drop down next to one of your blank buttons here, you're going to see a number of options. The one we want to focus on right now is BLF. BLF again is busy lamp field. These are the ones you're going to want to use for your internal extensions. So on the right hand column, you're going to drop that down and either enter the name or number, or you can actually scroll and find the extension that you actually want to put in here, and I'm going to put in Chris Love. Okay? And that's a busy lamp field. The other options that you're going to have are speed dial and custom speed dial. Now speed dial is for those legacy phones that really don't support the BLF type functions but do have some programmable functions on their buttons. So if you select speed dial, you can actually select again another internal extension. That's not to be confused with custom speed dial, which is what you're going to use when you want to do an external number, like a cell phone number or another vendor or somebody else that you want to use. So in here we're going to put the name of this awesome company. There you go. And that's going to show up on the phone. Keep in mind your phone will have a maximum number of programmable buttons. For Yeeling phones like the T54 I showed you earlier, we can do 3 pages and a maximum of 27 buttons. You may have more or less depending on what you're working with, so be sure to Google your respective model and find out before you go crazy programming 100 buttons and then find out the hard way that only the first 20 will actually show up. If you run out of buttons, that's okay. You can simply add more by clicking that little button down there, and it'll add about 10 at a time. But again, keep in mind how many your phone will actually display. So the final 2 options that you're going to have are really kind of special. One is called Agent Login and Logout, and the other one is called Change Status. If you belong to a call queue and you want to use programmable buttons to log yourself in and out of the queue, this is the option for you. What you're going to do is you're going to take 2 of your blank buttons and select Agent Login and Logout for both of them, and simply change the first one on the right hand side to in and leave the next one to out. So this way you'll have a button that logs you into the queue and a button that logs you out of the queue, and that's how that's done. For some of you who use status changes, and I'll go over that in a whole separate video for presence and status, some folks want a one-touch button for changing your status to a different level, and that's easily done here. You select the change status option on the left, followed by the status presence that you want to select it to on the right. Now you already have a do not disturb button on your soft keys located on the bottom of your screens, so I would not put that one there, but you can certainly use some of the other ones, that you can use as many as you like, up to a maximum of 5. And lastly, one final tip, folks, is that you can reorder your buttons simply by coming over here to the left-hand column, grabbing these handles, clicking and dragging and dropping where you want your buttons. So now let's just say we're officially done and we've got all the buttons that we want to program. If you leave these blank, nothing's going to happen. They just won't be assigned, or you can go ahead and delete them. Notice that there is no OK button, so as soon as you put them in here, they are live, except they're just not live on your phone yet, and we're going to fix that right now. Now that you're done with your button assignments, the next step is to reboot your phone for the changes to take effect. Keep in mind that depending on your setup, your phone may be sharing the data connection with the computer. In that scenario, a phone reboot will temporarily disconnect you from the network. That shouldn't be a big deal, but you may want to close your connected business applications before proceeding. There are 2 ways to reboot your phone. The easier method is to logically reboot the phone using the button keys. This method will vary by manufacturer, so if you don't have a Yay link, you'll need to Google that. On these Yay-link phones, simply hold down the X button for about 5 seconds. The phone will ask you if you want to reboot, and then press OK to do that. The physical method is the other way to reboot. You're going to want to flip the phone over and unplug the internet connection. Incidentally, this is also how you can tell if your phone and computer are sharing the same connection. If you see 2 data cables here, you're sharing. Find the cable that comes from the wall jack, that's the one you want to disconnect. Simply unplug that connection, wait a second or 2, and then pop it back in. When the phone comes back online, your new button should be active. Folks, if you like this video, you're going to love what we can do to make your phone system experience a great one for you and your customers. If you have any ideas for other videos you'd like me to make, please comment below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us out, and I'll be adding more videos here soon. Thanks for watching.